Supreme Chancellor Obi-Wan Kenobi by Stone Freak. Chapter 12. Obi-Wan's first Senate session. The Senate tried to argue that Obi-Wan should stay in some special apartment close to the Senate building, more of the whole traditional things that the Senate apparently thrives on. Obi-Wan is having none of it. He is a Jedi. He will stay in his rooms in the temple as long as he is on Coruscant, where he seems to be stranded for some time until this whole Supreme Chancellor appointment is over, unless he can somehow convince the Council and Cody and the 212th and the Anakin and the Senate. Okay, he's most likely not leaving Coruscant in a long while. He's mostly stuck as a general working from afar. It galls a bit, but it is his duty now. He's staying in his own Jedi apartments. It's most likely the safest place on Coruscant, maybe the whole galaxy. Anyway, that was the argument that convinced the Senate in the end. You're a lot more likely to succeed in negotiations if you know how your opponent thinks, and if you can twist what they want into what you want. One benefit to staying in his own rooms is the fact that he's managed to dump his ceremonial Jedi robes. He really is much more comfortable in unaltered robes. Obi-Wan swears that Yoda still laughs at him behind his back. The side of Mace's mouth twitched upward once. Obi-Wan saw it, even if Mace claims he imagined it. He's sure many of the senators are less than pleased when he shows up for his first Senate session dressed in regular robes. The feeling of petulance and annoyance in the Force suggests as much. However, if they ever believed he'd wear something even marginally expensive looking on a regular basis, they're deluded. He's a Jedi. He has no interest nor need for riches and splendor. The session itself is interesting. 7 pieces of legislation are brought up and discussed. 6 of them devolve into arguments consisting of screaming matches across the chamber. The longer the session goes on, the closer to his hairline Obi-Wan's eyebrows rise. It's like they're deliberately being ineffective and useless. They're supposed to be rational adults, but are acting worse than the temple younglings. The 5-year-olds! He looks at Senator Hahanash, temporarily acting as Vice Chancellor, while Obi-Wan makes a preliminary investigation regarding whether or not there's any reason to start a corruption investigation against Mas Amida and Palpatine. He looks back at him with an expression that's perfectly calm, but he can see the annoyance in her eyes. What wouldn't Obi-Wan give to be back at his office preparing for the session about the corruption investigation instead of the circus? Senator Hahanash looks like she wishes the same. Deep breaths. Serenity. Obi-Wan's face becomes a placid mask again. Calm yourselves, senators. We will shelve this discussion for the time being. If Obi-Wan has to listen to more arguing about legislation about inner Coruscant parking, he might actually lose his temper in a very un-Jedi-like fashion. Both senators, who has been shouting at each other through translation devices, pause, but both also look like they want to argue with Obi-Wan's decision to end their debate. Obi-Wan raises an eyebrow and tilts his head to the side just slightly. Waiting. Seconds tick by. Finally, both senators back down, grumbling to themselves and straightening their robes with great dignity, as if there's any dignity left when you've been screaming at someone for over 10 minutes over parking spaces. Absolutely ridiculous. No wonder the war has dragged on as long as it has when the Senate is this inefficient. No, there is some cleaning up to do. Obi-Wan has to look over the Senate protocols again. Something must be done.